What is up, you guys? We have a little bit of a different video today. We're not going to be doing any fishing. Instead, I'm going to be walking you guys through how to maintain your spinning reels. So I guess let's just jump right into it. Alright, so first thing, this is actually not that hard. Whenever I first started, thought it'd be kind of difficult, but it's not. So, alright, so something I want to say first is this is actually pretty easy to do. There are a few things you're going to need: a screwdriver, Phillips head, a wrench. This is 3/8. I'm not sure if they'll be the same on all of them, but this one it is. Then some grease and oil, obviously, paper towel to get off all the old grease, and Q-tips to get down in those hard to reach spots. And then I have an empty tackle box just to put all the pieces in as we go. So I guess let's just dive right into it. The first thing you're going to want to do is take off the drag knob. Then you can take off the whole spool. Just set these over here. And then you have this gear and washer. Slide those off. Those in there. And then we get to this screw right here. Have to take that out. That in there. And you take off this nut here. And something I wish I would have known is this is reverse threaded. So you go the opposite way of what you'd normally go. That all the way off. And that's all that you need the wrench for. Now you can slide off this whole thing here. That off to the side. And then we get to these 3 screws. So we'll take those out. Now I've actually never gone this far into this reel. So probably gonna look pretty rough on the inside. Also, my other reel isn't like this, but this little spring right here, you have to take off this metal piece, and the spring is connected to this metal piece. So make sure that spring doesn't go flying off if yours is like that, which it almost just did. Let me take that off, and the spring, I guess. Alright, so now we have to take out these screws right here, and then sometimes there's one in this piece here, but it looks like this reel does not have that. So I'll just take these screws out. And sometimes there will be screws that have different threads, so make sure you kind of look at them all to see if the screw has different threads, and then if it does, remember what hole you took that out of. And you take off this little bottom piece if yours has it. There's usually a screw in there. Yep, right there. And the ones in there are going to be relatively small, so try not to lose them. Then you can take off the handle. Unscrew this. Slide that out. And then these 2 pieces will just come right off. Might be a little sticky, but they should anyway. Oh, there we go. Alright. And this is what we're looking at on the inside. Looks pretty daunting, I know. It's actually not that hard. All you do is take this piece. That's what you want the paper towels for. And then we're left with this. And this is also pretty easy. I'm not really sure what you call all this on the inside, but first we gotta take this little plate off, which also holds this piece that holds the main shaft into place. So we'll take the screw out. Well, alright. That over there. If I can get the screw, okay. Now we take this one out. And then you can take this shaft out. I don't really ever go that far, but I guess for the sake of this video we can. That's what that looks like in there. And now there's a screw in here in the center of this gear. We'll take that out. And this should be the last thing that we have to remove. It is on my other spinning reel anyway. Come on. Sticking to my finger. Now, whenever I try to take this gear off of my other reel, it was kind of stuck. Looks like this one's going to be the same way. Never mind, it's not. So in the center of this gear there is a ball bearing. Make sure you don't lose that. Now there's these tiny little gears. I don't think you can take them out, so. Or if you can, I don't know how. But that is the bare bones. So now we'll start cleaning this up in here. Grab our Q-tips. Just try and work around everything. You know what? It looks like these gears just slide off. Yeah, look at that. Alright. That makes things easy. So like I was saying earlier, not all these reels are going to be exactly the same, but they should be the same pretty much. That should be decently clean. Now we're going to start working on all of these little parts here. So, again, like this gear right here has indentions on the side or in the middle. So we'll take a Q-tip and go through all of those, go through all the teeth on the gear, make sure you get all the old grease out. Doesn't have to be spotless, but you want it to be decently clean. Well, let's check this thing out. I'm pretty sure this just slides off. That's another ball bearing. And this piece. Wish I wouldn't set all the stuff on top of the paper towel. See if I can just move this nice and easily. Alright, let's set this over here. It'll come back in the picture in just a minute. Put that there. Now let's go ahead and put this back together. There's that piece. Now do this piece. And you see there's an indentation there. I'll use Q-tip and getting that. I don't know about you guys, but I abuse my reels. Like I really do abuse them. I've been throwing them in the sand, the water. Yeah. Well, I just want to use this time that I'm, dare I say, taking off. Just kind of go through everything, make sure it's all good. And I figured I'd show you guys who also can't get out. Or don't want to anyway. how to take care of your stuff so that whenever you can get out, well, it's not. That's disgusting. Anyway, as I was saying, so that whenever you can get out, it's not working, I guess. Set that over here on this paper towel. Go through all of these teeth and the other side, I guess. And you can if you want to, or if the opening's big enough, stick a Q-tip all the way through that hole. This one's slightly too small to get it through. Alright. So that's all of that. Now, let's start. Oh man, remember how I said don't lose that ball bearing? Well, it just fell on the floor. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Oh, I see it. I see it. Alright, as I was saying, now we get to work on re-greasing everything. Going through all of the teeth, all of the little, like, in here this was full of grease, we need to put some more in there. No, not in there. What piece am I thinking about? This piece. Put some in here. And this is for this little, I'm not really sure what you'd call that, but it basically sets in there and rides in that. So, yeah, I guess let's just start greasing everything. And I just have Blue's, it's all-purpose grease. Actually, no, it's casting reel grease. Thought it was all-purpose grease. Oh well, I don't really think it matters too much. Put some in there. And this was pretty much covered in grease, but I don't really think it needs it. I feel like this is less is more type of situation. Less is more, but you don't want too less, too little. You want just the perfect amount. Like that should be sufficient. And then we go through all of the teeth, trying not to smear the grease that you just put on everywhere. While we're here, if you guys have any content ideas you want during this little break or after the break, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Alright, that's that one done. Guess let's do the big boy here now. Alright, set that off to the side. And I think we're just about ready to start assembling this piece. I guess we can put some grease in here. Now we can start putting it back together. So we'll slide this piece in. Just like so. Go ahead and put the shaft back in, making sure that the hole goes in bottom. Don't stick it all the way through yet though. And if you have these gears, put them back on. And then this piece, slide that back in there. And then, yeah. Alright, so we'll screw that back in now. I can find the screw. Yes. Now we put this piece back on. And then then the shaft goes in there, and then put that screw back in. And I'll put this plate back on. Don't get anything too tight. Get it tight enough. Get it tight enough, but you don't really want to torque down on it. Alright, now this piece goes in. Now, I'm going to put some grease just on the top of this. I don't really know if you're supposed to, but I always do. Not too much. Alright. Now we'll put the casing back on. It's not too dirty, which it's not. Actually pretty clean. Slide that back on. Put all our screws in. Alright, so after doing all that, I'm sure your casing is going to be covered in grease from your fingers and everything else, so wipe that off. Fingers off. Alright, now let's clean this. Y'all's might not be dirty, but again, I was saying I threw mine in the sand, so it's pretty rough. And what's the point in, you know, changing all the grease over if you're still going to leave sand everywhere and work its way back into it. Alright, that's good enough. Now, we start with this piece in the spring. This doesn't need anything as far as grease and oil goes. Just put it back on. You can put one screw in. There we go. Alright, now I'll put the spring back on. Really hope it don't go flying across the room. That was actually pretty easy. Alright, now I'll put the rest of the screws on. Okay. Now, we put on this piece. In my other reel, there is a casing that goes over this whole area. If yours has that, you just pretty much pull it off. Actually, I think this middle piece is on top of that casing, so you take this off and then slide that piece off. I guess I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Just didn't think about it. We'll clean this out. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see all that sand and everything in there on top. Use paper towel. Alright, that's pretty clean. Now, I'm going to slide this back on. There we go. And we'll put the nut back on. And remember, this is reverse threaded. Now put this screw back in. And all this screw is just to keep the nut from coming loose. If this piece has multiple holes in it for the screw, it doesn't matter which one you put it back in. It's just every time you tighten it, you're not going to tighten it the exact same, so they put extra holes in there in case it's doesn't line up with one, you put it in the other. And as you can see, this one has two. Now all we do is put, well, I guess we should clean these pieces first before we put them back in. The gear and washer. Alright, that looks pretty good. Put some grease in that, if I can find it. It's literally right in front of my face. Go ahead and slide that back on. Like so. And then we'll put a little bit of oil on top. Like so. And then put the washer back on. Put some more oil on the shaft. Probably should have done that first. Now, basically done. So I'll put the spool back on, but we're going to clean the inside first. You guys can see that. Much better. Slide it on. Then we'll clean the top. Put some grease up here. And then drop it back down. I'm going to clean the top of this. You don't have to. I mean, it's just aesthetically pleasing to do so. And we'll put that back on. And now we're on to the handle. Still a bunch of sand in there, but that'll be okay, I guess. Put some grease on this little gear. Put some oil on here. And then this gear. Alright, now slide that in. And then we'll do the little screw piece over here. It just doesn't look that bad actually. Just put some grease on it. A little oil on the threads, just make it easier. Put it in. Screw it in. Now for the moment of truth. Does it work? It does. That could be a little tighter. Alright. This actually feels so much better than before. It's like not even a joke. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys learned something from this. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment down below. Give me some ideas for another video, and I'll be sure to do them. But for now, I guess that's it. Bye.